Welcome back, and joining me with more insight on the day's trade is Shaun Dendere from Trive Investments. Thank you so much for your time, Shaun. Just looking at the JSE, it has been so dry today. But of course, we have tariffs to keep us awake and busy. Every day there's something new. I think not even every day, every hour there's something new. So what stood out for you in terms of what we've seen this week, particularly in a week where that had the initial deadline or pause deadline for the tariffs, where now that's been extended?
All right, so it's been quite an interesting week. Firstly, thank you for having me. Just first, I want to touch onto the JST. It is a bit quiet. We are seeing a bit of redness over there, but I think that the pressure is really coming more from a political perspective on our side. I know that the ANC has an NEC meeting today whereby they are looking to discuss the GNU and, the whole dynamic that's happening with the stability of the GNU. So that's obviously feeding into the uncertainty that comes into the all-share index. If we look at the all-shares during the course of the week, it's done really well, actually driven by our commodity stocks and so on and so forth. With the tariffs, where to start, right? Like you said, it does every hour there has been a lot of changes. I do believe that, they will carry on being postponed, in my opinion, is that a lot of these things are a lot of threats, and it does take a lot for them to negotiate these tariffs to put them into play, and how they'll actually affect the U.S. economy in the long run. Because yes, we are making America better, as I say, but once these tariffs come into effect, it does affect, the global economy. I see that they've already basically strangled Canada with imposed tariffs. We're looking at the EU that is expecting to receive a letter today based on those tariffs. And if the EU is also not happy, they are definitely going to reciprocate on their side. So that's now causing a little bit of uncertainty in the market. As much as things had quieted down, I think there was a lot of other factors, such as, the geopolitical tensions that we're seeing in the past couple of weeks. Now that that's died down, for the lack of a better term, we're back on, tariff gate.
All right. Yeah. And as you're talking about this kind of political uncertainty as well, we know that we are getting an address from President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday on the allegations that have been leveled by Police Commissioner Mkhwanazi in KZN. So that's going to be a very, very interesting one. You're also talking about the commodity space. I'm wondering here, is the commodity cycle turning? Because it's also not, because for the longest time we had gold that was flying high, but now we have the PGMs joining in the diversified miners. Is this a good time to be in commodities?
I think it's quite a good time to be in commodities as it is. So historically, gold was, a hedge against inflation and so forth. But what we're seeing, or at least what I am seeing, is that people are moving away slightly from gold and investing more in, your other PGM stocks. Yeah. And, from a South African perspective, as a net exporter of commodities, that's really doing well for us. And just going back to what I mentioned earlier regarding the JSE in itself, that's also been really driving up the JSE this past couple of months, actually, in totality.
All right. Well, let's cross on over to the UK. We did have a GDP print for May, surprising to the downside, contracting instead of the expansion that was expected by investment analysts. And I'm wondering, what kind of blow is this then for that economy and the government?
100%. I think if we look at the UK economy, I'd like to refer to it as a start-and-go economy. Because if you look at, let's call it the first quarter into the second quarter of this year, they were doing quite well. But I think it was also driven by, production and exports being rushed through due to the threats of the tariffs that are coming through. So that led to, the numbers coming in quite positive there. And then we're looking at the current GDP print. Yes, that has come in lower than expected, and that also drives into the uncertainty, and once again the tariffs are coming into play there. But from the UK perspective, I think they will be actually forced to potentially decrease their interest rates coming in next month, just to try get that economy back up and running. Because if we go back historically once again to like last year, there was a point where the UK almost went into recession.
Yeah.
So it really is a tough act for the Reserve Bank equivalent in terms of monetary policy, and now to restart that economy.
All right. Well, Shaun, let's get to where you're seeing opportunity for today. Your stock pick.
All right, for today, my stock pick for now probably seems like a bit of a boring one, but it will be Nvidia, and the reason
Not
being
boring. It did reach $4 trillion in market cap this week, so
110%. I think that, there was research done by Goldman Sachs where they believe that the price is going to rise up to at least $185. So I think it's definitely a really good time to jump in. And there is a lot of demand of AI infrastructure going forward. And when it comes to AI and the AI chips that they produce, is that we can't run away from it. So it's either we just embrace it and foresee them, going from strength to strength going forward.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights there on what has been moving investors' money today and this week, Shaun. Really appreciated. That was Trive Investments' Shaun Dendere.